introduce your team and tell us what you're doing.
So we have a great team. So Jerry Robinson, Tyler, we have Ryan and Reagan, and we're going to demonstrate how to do a very fast and efficient fracture. And we're actually going to use a little device called a spine jack. So can you guys see that okay there?
We see you right now. We need a close-up of the device.
Okay. So let me see if I can get the device under the video there. I don't know if Ben can see that, but basically it's a little titanium device that expands, and you can see it there. And then we've already placed the cannulas, and I'll show you what it looks like. So it goes in the vertebral body as kind of a bullet-shaped, and then it expands as you turn it. And this is used for fractures. And the nice thing about this system is that it's very similar to the previous system that we used. So there's a little jamshidi, and then there's a cannula that you put in the vertebral body. So we went through that step, and then we used a guide wire, and then we then drilled the bone. So we put the drill in, and then let's get a shot there, Shelley. So you can see we've kind of drilled the vertebral body on both sides. And now we're going to go ahead and let's get our... So Jerry's going to put his side in, and I've got my side. And then, can you guys see that? So the spine jack hasn't been fully deployed. So let's get a shot there. It needs to go further down. Keep going down, Jerry.
Shot.
So can you guys see that on the lateral
So
end?
is the axis angle the same as with vertebroplasties? I saw there was kind of a difference between Dr. David's interpretation of the ideal axis angle for a kyphoplasty and what a surgeon like Dr. Fravert wanted to do. So is this coaxial to the pedicle, or do you do something tricky here?
Yeah, I mean, this is just basically, we're just going in, and it's parallel to the end plates. We don't want to have, because you'll see, and again, the device expands, so you want to try to get this device so it goes parallel to the end plate. And then let's go ahead and quickly get an AP just so you guys can see what that looks like, and then we'll expand it. And then once expanded, then we can take out the blue inner cannula and put some cement in there. Do we have some cement? Okay, great. And you can see, I mean, that took like a couple minutes. And then let's get a shot there. Okay, great. And then come back around, Shelley. So, and basically, I'll have Jerry go first, but you very slowly turn the instrument, and it slowly starts to expand. The only downside to it is you have to make sure, this is what we did, we got a good AP and lateral x-ray of this device, because once you start expanding it, there's no going back. So you absolutely have to be 100%. It's like with the cement.
Get a shot.
You know, wherever your introducer goes, and that's where your cement's going to go. So now Jerry's going to turn it the other way. Turn it the other way. Yep.
Shot.
So, and you'll slowly start to see the device expand. And actually, this is a nice one because there's a little bit of a compression deformity at the top there. Can you guys see that? Hold on one second, Jerry.
Yeah.
Jerry's so strong that there's a chance that he could break this.
As Nathan stated earlier, there's great haptic feedback with this.
So now you can see that and this is why the position and actually very different than Dr. David's, you want this to sit right close to that end plate. Let's see if Jerry's strong enough to get the vertebral fracture to reduce here. So go ahead and get a shot there.
Shot.
And then let's go live for 1 second. So, yeah, go ahead. Okay. Great. Okay, so now it looks like it's almost fully expanded. And this sometimes happens, but it's like a spring. So if you give it a little bit more time, and then I'm going to do my side. Let's get one more shot there. See if you can go.
And this will torque out eventually. Yeah, I'm getting the end of my expansion.
Let's see how yours looks compared to mine.
So how wide is that lift of that shoe that's kind of expanding?
So it's about 10 millimeters height. And
there's
then
variable lengths.
there's variable lengths as well. So let's get a shot there. So you can see now mine's on the other side. And then again, before we decide to do the next step, which is to put cement, we want to get a very good AP X-ray to make sure that there's nothing that we don't like about this. And you can see, can you guys see it actually reduce the end plate?
It actually did. Yeah, it didn't break.
See that?
Yeah.
So I hope Glenn is watching this. Shot there.
He's jealous.
So I think, so I'm going to go a couple more turns, and then you can actually feel this is
The
starting
resistance.
to tighten out here. So
That's very nice.
shot there. So, and you can see we got good restoration of that superior end plate. And then one last shot, Shelly. Okay, let's go ahead and get an AP. And then this cement I like a lot because it's super viscous. You can put a lot in because that expandable device creates a nice little hole. And then once you take out these blue cannulas, then you can put the cement in. Now let's come back around. Can you guys see that, Jens, on the AP?
Right. So again, these are 10 millimeters wide. And how large were they in the beginning? Were they 10 millimeters high and then expanded like fourfold? Give us the dimensions again.
The dimensions, I think it starts at about 5 millimeters diameter. It goes up to 20. Wow. So it starts at a 5 millimeter diameter.
And then the hole was right in the center of the object.
And then it goes up to about a 20. So, and there's two different sizes. Oh, three. There's like small, medium, and large. So this is the small one. So the small one is used for thoracic, upper thoracic, and then the blue one is for the lumbar spine. And again, once you feel good about the placement, Jerry, do you feel good about this? Or do you want to turn in a couple more? Let's see what that looks like.
I think mine looks a little better.
Is it good? Okay.
Mine's a little bit better.
As you're expanding this, did you feel that this shoe was engaging in the upper end plate or not?
Oh yeah, you can actually feel it, and there's actually very good. Yeah, go ahead and take out the blue. There's very good feedback from the device. So now we're going to take out the inner cannula, and now we're going to go ahead and get the cement in. So he's going to twist it off, and you can see how simple that was to disengage.
Just pull it straight up. Yep, it'll come out.
Okay, so now
That part
let's
stays.
go ahead and
This part will stay in.
let's go ahead and get the cement in. So, and again, just like the other cement, you can see it's starting to come out the tip there. So Jerry, why don't you go ahead and do your side? And this one you twist. Okay, so let's go ahead and start twisting.
And X-ray. X-ray?
And there's usually you can get about 12 cc's. And this cement is very viscous, so you can really put a lot of
Stop at 3
cement in there.
cc's?
Let's try to put in another. Let's
go
just see
4?
another full turn.
There's 4 cc's.
Great. And then why don't you twist a little bit the other way just to keep the cement. There you go. Yeah. And then let's do my side now.
Yep.
And then we're going to do the same thing on my side. And again, the nice thing about this system is that
Shot?
I think you get, there's a added benefit of really trying to correct that. You know, and a lot of the devices, I haven't really seen that many devices that can, and did you guys see that?
Little vein.
The vein.
Yes, I'm not sure it's a vein or an artery, but yeah, it's impressive to see how there's a efflux laterally.
And then, are we in all the way? Okay, let's go ahead and get an AP. But, you know, with acute fractures, and I think we've kind of talked about this, but you can imagine if you can do this for a patient with like an acute fracture and a tumor, and look at the amount of spread that this thing got. On the AP, let's go ahead. Is that the shot there, Sean?
Yep.
Okay, great. And then
this plunges down just to make sure there's nothing there.
So, but that's it, you guys. And then obviously, if you want to, we also have our, you know, we've got our fenestrated percutaneous hardware, and you can see we made a nice midline incision. The fascia is intact. And we just took everything out, and then you can then start to use, and the nice thing about this system is then you can use, you don't have to open a million boxes. So this is the Stryker percutaneous system. It's called EVEREST, shot there. And so now you can use the same exact Jamshidi needles to place your pedicle screws, and you don't have a million disposables. So it's actually, it's a really nice system. And then you can put in your, it's a little high. Any questions from the audience about the procedure?
How old of a fracture can you put this in? I know this is a chronic wedging vertebra.
You know, that's a great question, Jens. I would say probably Glenn has a lot more experience, but in my, you know, if you get an MRI and it lights up, there's a pretty good chance you can get, I don't know the timing, but I'd say probably within, you know, a couple months. But you can see, again, we're just for the sake of time, and then basically, we've got our, and then we're gonna put our guide wires in, shot there.
Mine's a little medial.
Yeah, yours is a little medial.
Shot.
Mine's a little medial too, but that's it. And then you can see how slick these systems are, and it's very similar to the previous system. Then we put our guide wires in.
So again, you're trying to create a gap or a cavity with this metal that aids in expansion. And this is not a balloon-based system then, right?
Exactly. And that's the nice thing about, you know, again, for me, you know, all these devices have their advantages, and I think this is a great system where if you want to try to get some restoration of the compression fracture, and a lot of times what people don't understand is the reason why we do these, you know, treat these acute fractures is that it's not really, I mean, some of the patients do get improvement of their pain, but for me, it's more of a structural, you know, fix, because if you have a fracture below, let's say if you have a construct, then, and if you can stabilize that fracture and keep that patient from having, let's say, adjacent level where you have to extend them, or if it's in the thoracolumbar junction, you know, you've saved that patient from having another surgery. So for me, it's a lot of it is, and we talked about this earlier, it's structural support. Yeah, we want them to have improvement in their pain, but that doesn't always happen. So, but you can see how efficient and quickly we can put the hardware in, you know, now we're going to go a couple levels above and a couple levels below, and just like the previous demonstration that we did, then we can put our rod in and we're done. So, That's it. Thanks, guys.
Great.